Have you ever told yourself, this week is going to be different? And then by midweek, you've already stopped following through on the things you said mattered. Not because you didn't care, but because life takes over, you get tired, and suddenly you're back in the same pattern of letting yourself down. In this episode, I'm talking about why that keeps happening and how to start rebuilding trust with yourself in a way that actually lasts. Come on in. It's time to choose your happy life. Wherever you are, whatever kind of day you're having, this is your reminder. You have a choice. If you're ready to break free from self-doubt and negative thinking, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Marie, and this is the Choose Happy with Marie podcast. Welcome. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to the show. I am so glad that you're here. It's always a favorite part of my day when I connect with you. Today, I want to talk about something that I know so many women struggle with. And it's the feeling of letting yourself down. You know those moments where you tell yourself, this week is going to be different. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to take better care of myself. I'm going to follow through on that thing that's been on my mind for a while. And when you say it, you mean it. It's not like you're just saying it casually. There's a part of you that really wants it. But then, a few days go by. Life gets busy. You get tired. And something else suddenly becomes more urgent. And what you wanted, what you said you were going to do, doesn't happen. And it's not dramatic. It's actually really quiet. But it's the moment where you think, I said I was going to do this, and I didn't. And that feeling, it lingers. It lingers longer than the plan ever did. And over time, those moments do start to add up, and they start to erode your self-confidence. Today, I want to talk about why this keeps happening and how to start changing it in a way that actually feels supportive and sustainable so that you can start following through, because what you want, it matters. Your desires are the actions that you take when you are choosing happy for your life. And when you don't follow through on them, you're not choosing what you really want for your life, your happy life. This kind of behavior can show up in many different ways. I'll just give you a few examples that maybe you can relate with. Let's say you wake up, you say you're going to go for a walk after you eat breakfast. Shower, breakfast, I'm going to go for a walk. And you don't. Perhaps you start blaming other people for why you didn't. Let's say, for example, you get a text on your phone from a friend and you felt the need to respond right away. And then one text led to another. And 20 minutes later, you're still texting one another. I know what that's like. But what happens? You suddenly feel like you don't want to go for that walk anymore. Or you have to get going to work and you've run out of time. Or let's say you tell yourself you're going to stop checking your phone 1 hour before bedtime because, we've all read the benefits of taking a break from screen before we get ready for bed. But then you find yourself scrolling your phone while in bed. Can you relate? A few more ideas. You think, I'm going to speak up this time. I'm going to speak up at this meeting. Or you say, I'm going to say no. And you can just add whatever you want after that. Or you say, I'm finally going to start that thing that matters to me, Marie. I hear that from you. And then the moment comes and you don't. And maybe no one else notices. From the outside, everything still looks fine. You're going about your day. You're still showing up. You're still getting things done. You're still the person everyone relies on. But internally, you know. It's a quiet narrative that starts to form that says, why do I keep doing this? Why can't I just follow through? What's wrong with me? And that's the part that can really start to wear on you. I want to share something from my own experience because I know you like when I do that, so I will. Because I've been working through that as well. There was a time when I'd make these plans for myself. You know, these things that matter to me that I wanted to do. For example, I wanted to take better care of myself, eat a healthier dinner every day, or creating something, actually following through on my knitting project, knitting that hat with the beautiful yarn that I purchased. Or even just giving myself time in the morning with my coffee and my glass of water. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you know that I try to bring in more water intake every day by that little habit of having a glass of water with my morning coffee. But yeah, just giving myself time in the morning with my coffee and my journal. Just a moment to connect with me, with myself, before tending to others' needs or expectations of me. And I would set the intentions and really mean them. But then the day would begin, and I would immediately go into taking care of everything else for my family. Whether it was emails that needed to be responded to, responsibilities to family or others, or other people's needs. And by the end of the day, I'd be lying in bed and I'd be thinking, I didn't do the one thing I said mattered to me today. And it wasn't just about that one thing. It was the feeling of, I keep putting myself last. And I started to notice something deeper. I wasn't trusting myself anymore. Not in a dramatic way, but it's in those small, quiet ways where perhaps others don't notice, but we do. I would say something I was going to do, and then part of me kind of believed I was going to do it, but not really believe I was going to do it. And that's what really shifted things for me, realizing that I knew I wanted to do things, I just wasn't following through on them. Most women think this is a discipline problem. And yeah, it could be to a certain point. We do have to discipline ourselves to follow through. Some women think it's a motivation problem. I don't feel motivated to do that thing that I said I was going to do. Yes, that could be that too. It could be both of those things. Maybe it's a self-trust pattern. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't, you're collecting evidence. Evidence that says, I can't rely on myself. And over time, that builds. That's why when you set a goal or you make a plan and you tell yourself this time will be different, do you believe it? Or is there already a part of you that's already hesitating and already knows you're not going to follow through, so why bother? That affects your self-confidence, your trust in yourself. I want to normalize this, especially if you're someone who is high functioning. And what I mean by high functioning, because I think most of our community is we are people, often women. We do have gentlemen who listen to the show. You are very welcome here. But we're people who are dependable. We show up for other people. When we say we're going to do something, we follow through for them. We handle things. So then you wonder, why can't you do that for yourself? But when you really look at it, your time, your energy, your attention, they're already going somewhere else. Someone else is getting that, not you. You've conditioned yourself to put yourself last. I know what that feels like. And if you're listening right now, I want you to know you are not alone. And you are here to change that. So here's the shift I want you to start making, okay? Instead of asking yourself, why can't I be disciplined? Why can't I just follow through? I want you to ask yourself, how can I start rebuilding trust with myself? Because self-trust, it's not built through big, perfect plans. It's built through small moments where you say something to yourself, you don't have to tell someone else, but that you actually do it. And I want to support you in rebuilding trust in yourself. It's the only way that you can truly live your happy life is when you follow through on what you want for your life. And it's possible. I work with clients each week to help them with that. So on the show, I just wanted to give you like 3 things that you can start doing today. So they're very manageable. Okay, you ready? Number 1, I want you to make smaller promises to yourself. Start smaller than you think you need to. I know I work with clients who have these big goals, and I love that they have big goals, but I also don't want them to let themselves down. So I always try to help them bring it down to a more micro level that is achievable so that they can get to that point and then go beyond, which is awesome. So an example, let's say if you've been saying to yourself, I'm going to completely change my routine, or you're saying, I'm going to do this every day. You know what? Your brain is going to resist that because you're not doing that every day. Like that's a habit. That's behavior change. So instead of going there into this big, grandiose, change my life, you can ask yourself, what is one small thing I can follow through on today? And I'll give you an example of what that can look like. It could be, I'm going to step outside for 5 minutes. Notice there's something substantive, 5 minutes. So that's achievable because, you can squeeze in 5 minutes usually in a day. Or let's say I'm going to sit with my morning coffee without my phone. See how you're grounding into something realistic. Morning coffee, so you know the time period. And you're saying, when I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. And yeah, it's going to be hard at first if this is what you want, but it's okay. You can pick up your book and finally read that book that you've been wanting to read. Or another example could be, I'm going to write 1 sentence in my journal today or every morning. That's achievable because it's 1 sentence. So it's not, I'm going to write in my journal every day. Well, what does that look like? Because I don't want you to set yourself up for failure. I want you to succeed. So you can write more than 1 sentence, but at least write that 1 sentence. Small counts because small actions build your self-trust. So that's the first one. Make smaller promises to yourself. Number 2, so we have a total of 3 today that I'm going to share with you. Here's number 2. Decide what done looks like. This is really, really important. A lot of the time, we don't follow through because what we desire is unclear. So your brain doesn't know when you've actually succeeded. You have to tell your brain what is success, what is done. So instead of, I'll give you another example. I'm going to work on that thing. You'll say, I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this today. Even if you have to put a timer on your phone, you spend the 10 minutes and you achieve it. That's what you define as done. This clarity creates follow through and manageability that you're actually going to follow through on what you want to do. And so the third way that this can help you is by acknowledging it. This is the part that changes everything. When you do follow through, even in a small way as I'm suggesting you do, pause and say to yourself, I said I would do this, and I did. This is after you complete whatever you say you want to do. This is really important to say that to yourself. I'll repeat it. I said I would do this, and I did. It's really important because most of us only notice when we don't follow through, right? The negativity, the inner critic, the inner negative self-talk. But self-trust is built by noticing when you do. Okay, so those are just small steps that you can take today. Pick something and just put some context that is manageable so that you do follow through. If you've been feeling like you keep letting yourself down, I just want you to hear this. You haven't lost your ability to follow through. You've just fallen out of trust with yourself. And that's something that you can rebuild. You do it through one small promise, one follow through, and acknowledging that you did follow through. And if this is something that you're working on right now and you want more support with this, I share tools, reflections, and simple steps like this every week in my email. And you can join my email list through the link in the show notes. And when you're on my email list, you can communicate with me by simply replying to the emails. Let today be the first day where you start trusting yourself. All right? Okay, and on that note, I wish you a wonderful week choosing happy. Cheers! Thanks for listening to Choose Happy with Marie. If today's episode spoke to you, I would love it if you could share it with a friend or leave a quick review for the show. It helps more women find this kind of support. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your life to start feeling better. You just have to choose happy right where you are, one choose happy choice at a time. I'll see you next time. Take care.